Hello, everybody. I was speaking with someone the other day about this podcast and how it's been through so much change with me. And some of you I know have been listening since I released the very first episode, or maybe not the very first, because I think there were 17 downloads for the first month or two, most of which were probably my mum. Thanks, mum. But what I realized is you've been through so many iterations with me, and it's been a hot minute since I just sat down with you and filled you in on what's been going on in a way that I'm going to do today, which is really to just be super clean and clear around what we're doing, what I'm believing about time, um, what time freedom looks like in the time hacker way with the time hacker essence. And I thought it would just be really fun to have that kind of reintroduction, that's what I'm going to call this episode, a reintroduction to time hackers, to what we're doing, and to just make it super clean and crystal clear what our philosophy is. Because I do think sometimes, you guys have been through the journey with me. You've seen the philosophy evolve and be created. And I hope that you've enjoyed that experience. And I think that is something powerful and unique that we've been able to share on this journey together. But the business really has entered now like a level of maturity. I think I've entered a level of maturity and just clarity. Like basically what I've been doing the last 4 years unknowingly is getting closer and closer to my voice, getting clearer and clearer on time hacking, which is something I just made up in 2020. Anyway, I thought it would just be really fun to share with you where I'm at now from this place of it being cleaner, simpler, in case it's been a hot minute since you have really thought about what we're doing and what our purpose is here and why you are listening and why you connect to it so much, maybe why you want to share it with others. So yeah, I think there's also the flip side where some of you might listen to this and be like, no, Vicky, I knew all of this exactly. I've been listening to you, which is totally fine too. But I did think for maybe some people that are newer to the podcast, or those that have been with me a long time, or those that are just like consuming lots of different things and want to be super clear on what they're doing here and what we're doing here, more importantly, I thought this would just be a fun episode. Because people in my real life, let's say, often ask me about what we're doing at Time Hackers. And sometimes, even once I've explained it, they're confused. One of my friends was like, blink twice if you work for MI6. Blink twice. I can confirm that that's not what's happening over here. But the truth is, what our coaches do and what we do at Time Hackers isn't a typical 9 to 5 world. So I really want to just pull back the curtain and show you what it means to actually transform people's relationships with time, because that's what our coaches do. They are helping people decode their relationship with time. And they do this by asking really deep questions that help our clients understand why they personally are stuck in a cycle of busy but not productive. Right? Like I've personally been studying the intersection of psychology, of productivity and performance, and then translating all of those insights into practical strategies that our clients can use immediately, which is why I always say it doesn't take time. We actually had someone share inside our coaching certification today that there was one thing they took from the first session that was already worth the investment, and they understand now why our coaches are so good and so fast at getting straight to the point. So our coaches tell when it comes to coaching with our coaches or what we're doing at Time Hackers, it's all about telling the honest truth that our friends won't necessarily tell us, right? Being busy isn't a badge of honor. You don't have to do that thing just because your mother-in-law said you should. You don't have to stay in that WhatsApp group just because it's like the WhatsApp group from your kids' nursery class, whatever it might be, that working longer hours isn't the answer and isn't necessary, that perpetual overwhelm isn't normal or necessary. So we really, as an organization, our big why, our big goal is to give people the permission to work and live differently. Now, this might look like closing a laptop at 3 p.m. because enough. This might look like taking a vacation without checking email or Slack just in case. This might look like saying no to those quick favors that eat away hours in their weeks. And this methodology works. What we're doing works so well because it's born from real lived experience, right? I personally, you've heard me share about this. I understand the exhaustion of 80-hour weeks and the freedom of achieving more in less time. So our coaches show up when burnout feels inevitable, when success feels so far away, even though we're doing all the right things. And I just did inverted air quotes, which you can't see on a podcast unless you watch this on YouTube. We're transparent. Me too, right? I'm transparent. Our coaches are transparent. When we struggle with our own time boundaries, we demonstrate constantly that even time hackers, even time hacking experts, even the founder and creator of the time hacker method is human. And that's why this works. There is no goal of mine or anyone in my community to become a robot. We embrace our humanity, and that's one of the best things about us. So when I founded Time Hackers, it was based off of a simple core belief that time isn't something to manage, it's something to optimize, right? It's that things don't take time. So you don't need more hours, you need better ways to use them. Your worth isn't measured by your busyness, right? So every time, or should I say every I don't have time is actually, it's not a priority, or I don't want this, or I'm afraid of something, whatever it might be. So working harder, working longer isn't the answer. And you already know this because you, like me, like so many of our clients, would have had things where you put in all the hours and not produce the results. Right? So working harder, working longer isn't the answer. Neither is a productivity app or a color-coded calendar, which, by the way, if they work for you, great, but they're not going to be the be-all and end-all. How do I know this? Because I've spoken to thousands of people, and I've never had someone say, yes, I'm getting everything done I want to do and achieving the exact results I want to because I've color-coded my calendar. Often it's more like I'm spending too long color-coding my calendar and I'm not getting the things done. Another thing to say is success and rest, this won't surprise you depending on when you join this community, but success and rest aren't enemies, they're partners, they're collaborators. You can achieve your biggest goals without sacrificing your life, your sanity, and your space to get there. And in fact, you'll get there faster when you stop trying to do it all, or stopping. So time optimization, when I speak about optimizing your time, it's not about squeezing as much as you can into a day. That's not time optimization, that's busyness. It's about making space for what matters by eliminating what doesn't. In fact, inside Time Hackers today, someone just shared, I've had another successful week getting all the things done that I wanted to do. And I was celebrating them and they said, yes, because I'm a true time hacker and I'm not putting things on there that I don't want to do or that are not my priority. Right? So we want to be turning I should into I did and someday into today. Everything that's meant to happen will, right? All the good things that you want are available for you, but they're not going to happen on their own. You have to show up, you have to make decisions, you have to take action, even when it's uncomfortable. And time hacking is all about giving people the tools to do the things that drive change, that drive results, and drop the things that don't matter, that are eating up late nights and free time so that you can achieve more faster. So our coaches tend to work with incredible achievers who are just tired of being tired. They're entrepreneurs who love their business but hate how it consumes their life. They're professionals who are successful on paper but can't remember the last time they had a free weekend or weren't answering emails on the toilet. True story. They support people who've tried every productivity hack and every time management tool only to end up further behind and more frustrated than when they started. They help people who know that there is a better way. They feel it, like we know there has to be a better way. This is not it. It's not it to be living in perpetual overwhelm. It's not it to be living constantly behind. It's not it to feel like I'm chasing this never-ending to-do list and I'm not good enough and not fast enough, and what I want is always just out of reach. At Time Hackers, we specialize in working with overthinkers who spend more time planning or procrastinating than doing, right? The perfectionists who can't launch anything or put anything out into the world until it's just right. Those procrastinators who are brilliant at those last-minute sprints like I was, but want to find a more sustainable way, right? We spoke about this on a recent podcast. We work with anyone who's ready to stop saying, I don't have time, and start creating time for what matters to them, from CEOs to side hustlers, from stay-at-home parents or parents balancing careers with family and side hustles to creatives that are just dreaming about bringing their dream into life. But most importantly, everyone at Time Hackers, including me, works on ourselves constantly, because you cannot hack time unless you're willing to face and confront your own limitations, your own humanity, your own patterns, challenge your own beliefs, and constantly evolve your own practices. So I really wanted to think about where time freedom comes from, because I used to really think time freedom was about finding more hours in the day, about working longer, faster, harder, about sacrificing sleep, and I'll sleep when I'm dead, and sacrificing my social life in the name of success and being proud about that. But then, as you guys know, I burnt out 3 times. So that's when I realized time freedom isn't found, it's created. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters. It's not about perfect schedules, it's about purposeful choices. So I created Time Hackers and the Time Hacker method with a new approach, one that focused on results and outcomes, not hours worked or number of things checked off the to-do list. One that teaches you how to trust decisions, even imperfect decisions, even decisions that might be wrong, instead of second guessing everything and never getting into a decision. One that shows you how to achieve more faster by doing less. And so the results of this have been phenomenal, right? Our clients finish their work days by 3 p.m. and keep getting promoted. They take random Wednesdays off and, get the train down to London for a family lunch without checking their email and sign clients. They're building successful businesses without sacrificing their health or relationships. Because here's the truth, time freedom is not a luxury, it's a necessity. And through our coaches and our programs, anyone's available or willing to learn a different way of working, a different way of living, a different way of thinking, a different way of being, that's what we want to provide. And that's why I know in my core, what we're doing at Time Hackers is a time revolution. The time industry as it is not working. And we can see that because we are more burnt out, we are more anxious, and we are less productive than ever. So I personally, keep getting pulled into this world, keep digging deeper, keep reaching further. And I just want to say thank you to all of you for listening to this podcast. Thank you to those of you who are inside our communities, who are coaches, coaching clients and changing lives. I also saw something this week, one of our coaches shared a testimonial from her clients because she's certified in our tools. And it was something like, I don't know what this time hacking malarkey is, because that's obviously someone who doesn't know me and what we do, right? It's her client. I don't know what this time hacking malarkey is, but it's life-changing, right? So we're reaching people with this work. We're changing lives of people that I will never meet and never know. And that's down to you guys for listening, sharing, speaking. So thank you for being here. And obviously, if you are curious, if you've never had a look at our website, I highly recommend doing so. And if you have had a look, we've got new pages built for Time Hackers, so you might want to check that out. I will leave the link in the show notes. I hope you like this little regrouping session to just take stock of who we are, what we're doing, who we're serving, what our mission is, and what we're looking to achieve. Thank you, as always, for listening. Bye.